In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a VTuber, how to set up things that you need to VTube. All you need is a camera, a microphone, and well, a computer, of course, to, record everything. Whether you're a gamer and you want to, put your avatar on top of the gameplay that you're doing, either streaming or even video, to reacting to content online, if you're reacting to things, on YouTube, watching other videos, watching somebody else's stream, or whatever you want to do. You can literally even be in VR. Right now, I'm in virtual reality. I'm in my Meta Quest 2 playing Walkabout Mini Golf. And I've got hand tracking because, well, VR, hand stuff. And you can see, I have the same exact avatar. I can go ahead and do a little bit of a spin around. You can even watch me play a game through VR in this way. This obviously takes a different application called Live. I'll link it down in the description of this video if you do have VR and you want to go into that route of VTubing, even more intensely. But this is just an indication to show you what you can achieve. So this, for example, is what it would look like in, playing golf gameplay. Not that I'm any good, apparently. So the first thing you're going to need is a Steam account, and you're going to have to download VRoid Studio. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. It will take you to the Steam link of VRoid Studio. Otherwise, just search it in Steam. You can download. It is free to download. You don't have to pay a single thing. It's free. The model that you make is only for you, which, comes with a bit of licenses that you get to assign onto it. If somebody does get hold of your model, you can also share it online in a few places, which is really cool. But yeah, just go ahead there and click the free icon and add it to your library and install it. So when you open up VRoid Studio for the first time, you'll see all the models that you create are added to the top, and there are some sample models that you can, play around with, maybe try adjust. If you can, change it enough, a lot, so that it doesn't look like the base one if you want to use that as a starting point. It is a bit difficult though, so I would actually recommend doing create new, at least for your first one. So when you go to create new, you get the option of picking, a femme body or a masculine body. Now, once you get to this screen, it can be very, very daunting. There is a lot of information on the screen. I'm going to quickly break down some controls to you before I go through the UI and how you're supposed to progress through this. So first off, you can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out, as much as you desire. You can hold the mouse wheel button in so that you can drag and move the model to different angles. If you want to be able to zoom in and look at specific points of the model, you can hold right click and move your mouse to rotate the model so that you can see it from different angles, like having a look at the nose, for example, which you don't really see from straight up. And those are essentially the main controls you're going to use within the main panel in the screen. Now we're going to look at the tabs at the top over here. So we have face, hairstyle, body, outfit, accessories, and look. These are your main tabs, and you're going to progress through them by starting with face. But if you want, you can jump through others as you want to, maybe try different hairstyles for your face. But within face, you'll see on the left-hand side, we have face sets. So these are complete sets of faces. If you want to try a specific face like this, it's going to change the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, everything in between. Alternatively, you can go further down and you can find eye sets. So this is a complete set of eyes. I recommend picking ones that you like the look of, and then progressing down even further, you can find irises, which you can actually change the irises of specific eyes, and you can change the inner workings of the eye and the way that you want this to look. Now, while you're selecting these options, you'll notice that every time you select an option here, on the right-hand side, you have a bunch of parameters that you can change. For example, you can change the color of each of the eyes. For example, let's say you don't want brown eyes. You can go ahead and press this color over here and use this color wheel, and maybe you want red eyes, maybe you want blue eyes, maybe you want green eyes. You can also change the size of the irises like this, the iris size, the gaze, where you want it to be looking, just like that. If you want to go into real advanced stuff, you can go to edit texture, but I'm not going to recommend this to you right now off the bat. So essentially, you're just going to progress down the eye highlights, the scleras, eyebrows, you're just going to change everything the way you want it to look. Okay. So you're going to change every little thing here. The expression editor is probably one of the main things that you're going to want to double check when you're working with these things. These are the expressions that are going to be used when you're, speaking and you're, smiling, or you're sad, or you're angry. These are the expressions that it's going to use when you're sad, through your camera. This is what it's going to look like, right? So neutral looks like this. Smiling looks like that. You can change how smiling looks like. When you click smiling, you can go on the right-hand side, you can change the teeth, the inside of the mouth, the mouth. You can change a few things, right? You can make it a bit more sad looking. You can add a lot more happiness. You know, you can make smiling look like this, if that's what you want smiling to look like. So every time you smile on the camera, your avatar is going to smile like this. So set these up and play around with these settings here to find the exact way you want your character to smile. Same for sadness. If you want to be sad like this, if you want to be angry, you know, you want to, you know, you're going to want to try, you know, make this match what you want it to look like. So there are a lot of settings to go through here to, like, you know, make sure you're getting exactly what you want. But this is very important to making your avatar work when you're, you know, reacting and having it react to what you're doing in front of the camera. Once you're happy, you can progress onto hairstyle, which I'm sure you've probably progressed onto here before you even, you know, finish doing the face, which I don't blame you. The hair is a big part of the avatar on how you want the avatar to look. Again, it has hairstyle sets. So this is a complete set of hair. So all of these different hairs are actually smaller parts that are added on later. So if I go back to being completely bald over here, you can see we can go to the first option that is the front of the hair that is the front style. So if I take, maybe I want this as the front piece of my hair, maybe I want this as the front of the hair, right? You'll see it only does the front. There is like literally no hair at the back. You can change the colors on the right-hand side. You can change the bouncing style. But you can make a very wild character changing the colors on the right hand side. You pick the front hairstyle that you want, you go ahead, you pick for the back, and you scroll down, you find a nice back of the head hairstyle that you like, just like this. Don't worry about that brown, we'll fix it soon. And you're going to practically build your hairstyle like this. Overall hair, you can add, like, you know, an extra piece, which is the hair that goes around everywhere else. If you ever find yourself making a mistake and selecting the wrong thing, like, you know, maybe doing this and you're like, oh, I forgot which one I had selected, you can always go to the 3 lines over here at the top left and you can actually undo. Now, you can't undo too many times. I think it's like maybe like a couple times, but if you undo, it will undo the last thing you selected or changed. So if you want to change a few things just to see, like, oh, I want to see what this color looks like or what this hairstyle looks like without like completely messing it up, you do get the option to undo and return back to your default state that you had before. But yeah, you can go ahead and you can add all these different little, you know, doohingies just to change how you want your character to look like and make a completely custom character that maybe nobody else actually has, because you can really make something super unique. Now for that brown that sticks at the bottom there, this is actually the final option, the base hair option. You can actually select the no option here, and that will remove it so that it just shows skin, which is much better so that you don't have like random hair sticking through. If you did want it, you can select it and then just change the color and make it match, you know, more of the other color, like the green, just like that. It's completely up to you on if you want to keep it or how you want to change it. The next option is body, and inside body, you can see here, you can actually select the body. If I go ahead and I move the avatar around, you can see that my character got really long hair. I didn't realize that hair was that long, my God. And you'll see there is a height option. So on the left, you get to select the whole body, like how you want the body to look like. Any of these different bodies, it looks like they're different kind of like tan lines, it seems. And you can use the colors on the right hand side here to change the color of your skin. If you want to be a little bit darker, a little bit lighter, white, or even like a completely different color. Maybe we go green, literally green screen, man. I don't know, you look Shrek. What am I even making right now? This is just a complete joke though. You're gonna obviously spend a lot more time being super specific about this, finding exactly the colors and designs that you want. On the right hand side, you'll see there's also heights. You know, you can change like how high you want to be. This is the feminine height, right? So this is actually going to make you change how your body works the taller you get. For example, you can see here the shoulders get decompressed quite a lot, but if we go ahead with the male height, the body gets like thicker the higher we get, and then the head gets smaller, like. And also now I'm like over 2 meters tall, which is fantastic. You can change the head size. Oh my God, this is like an ARC character. Don't go too crazy with these things, but you can see there are a lot of options here to customize exactly the way you want. So test every single slider, go left and right. The default is on 0. So you can see like, you know, how this works. Then you can go onto the outfit option over here. And in the outfit option, you get like whole sets of clothing. So you can change your clothes to match exactly this. Alternatively, you can go to like the tops and you select the perfect top. There aren't plenty of options here, but you'll see there is a search more items, and this will take you to Booth, which is a website where you can purchase, you know, VRoid, you know, items that you can add and install here so that you can use. I'd recommend waiting until you understand what you want before you start buying everything. There's bottoms, there's dresses, there's neck accessories, arm accessories, inner top, inner bottom, socks, and shoes. And you can change all of these to exactly the way you want your character to look. In the accessories tab, there's actually nothing right now. This is something I think you'll get into much later on as you learn more about your VTubing experience and, models and, what to do. This video is just to get you started. If we go into the final option over here, which is look is pretty simple. There's a few options that we want to have a look at here, and it's going to start out with the outline. The outline is this black outline you see around our character. This is something that currently always shows. I don't like it myself. I actually don't have one on my model at all, so I actually turned the outline off completely, so there's no outline around me. It works better for me this way. I prefer it like that. If you like the outline, you can go ahead and add it. If you want like a thick outline, it almost makes you look kind of like a cartoon character, right? So if you had to make your character completely white and devoid of color, it could look like it's a cartoon avatar or something. The second option here is rim light. So this is like the lighting and how like the light affects and shines on your face. So for example, you get the one with hair, you can change the intensity and the concentration. You can see here like how it changes the look of how the hair looks, right? So you're going to play around with these two sliders to see how you want this to make the hair look, just to give it that extra texture feel so that you can see the texture a lot better. Then you get an option for the exact same thing, but with face. If you want the face to shine a bit more, you're going to play around with these settings to create the exact look that you want. The body intensity, you can go ahead and do the same kind of thing. I generally match the face to the body settings so that they have a similar kind of like lighting. And then you get shading on the left, which is pretty much the same kind of thing. You change how you want the shading to. Play around with the options, find what makes your character look the nicest. You have eye alignment if you want to align the eyes a bit better. In the bones option, you'll see here you can change the amplitude of how much your character has like movement. Honestly, I recommend keeping this at 100 because I don't really recommend playing around with this if you don't know what it does. So if you are interested, go watch a really complicated guide on how to do this. Once you're happy with your model, you can go ahead and you can save it, right? So you can just generally save it as a VRoid model so that you can edit this later on if you want to, continue to work on it and change it, which I highly recommend you do. Alternatively, if you want the model as an avatar that you're ready to use, your final form of it, like the file that you're going to use, we're going to click this arrow button at the top right, just like this, and you'll see here, export as VRM. This is the file type that is used to control this avatar. So export as VRM. Once you click that, it will take a few seconds to load. You'll see there's an option to reduce polygons, reduce materials, reduce bones. Right now, I don't really change much of it. You can see we got like 56,000 polygons. It's, I guess, quite a lot. If you feel like it's too much, you can always come back here and export it again and change a few settings. Maybe it's too much, effort on your computer, or it's too big of a file. You don't want the file to be massive. And then when you're ready, you just click export, just like this. And in here, you're going to go ahead and you're going to have VRM00. The title, this is the title of the, the avatar. So Shrek Sailor, I don't know, Shrek Sailor person, the creator. So I'll just put my name like Concon, right? So if somebody accesses this avatar or you upload it online, this avatar is linked to all of this information. So you can add your contact information, avatar personality, who can assign a personality to this avatar. So you can make this like only with explicit authorization, only you, the creator, or anyone. So like somebody else can take this and do whatever they want with it. Like in the same way that you can download other avatars to use freely. If somebody says, it's okay for commercial use, okay for those things over there, and you can go ahead and change the licensing and all the other stuff, depending on how you want this avatar to be used by other people. If you want it to be used by other people, if you want to use it just for you, don't change anything here. It already kind of like limits it to only you have access to this and nobody else is allowed to use it, basically. Export when you're ready. Now that it's done, you'll see here it will make a file called shreksailorperson.vrm. Remember, this is the file for the model. I save it in a folder where I keep all my other models currently that I've made. Go ahead and save it when you're ready. And now you're done. You can go ahead and close VRoid Studio. The next application you need to use is VSeeFace. VSeeFace is the one that is going to basically take your VRM file and it's going to use your camera and your microphone, and it's going to make it it's going to make your avatar react to how you move in the camera that's watching you in real life. And every time you speak, the mouth of the avatar is going to match what you're saying. Well, almost. It's going to try copy and make movements based on how you move. So on this website, which is linked in the description down below, you'll see it's quite easy. You go in here, you can read all of this information, but you'll see there's a big blue download button. Just like this, go ahead, click download, install this where you want. You can also move it as you need. You'll see it gives me like a VSeeFace folder, and inside this folder, you get the VSeeFace.exe. If you don't see the .exe, it's fine. It's just the one that says VSeeFace, and it looks like this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna open up this program after you've downloaded it and installed it. Now, when you have VSeeFace open, it will save your previously loaded models. As you can see, I have my previous two over here. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna add avatar, and then you're going to select the VRM file of the one that you just made, the one that you want to use, or any VRM file that you may have downloaded, like a free one. There are tons of free ones that you can get online as well. Go ahead and click open. But before we can start, we need to select a camera and a microphone, right? So the microphone, select the microphone that you plan on using, the one that you use to, for your microphone. And then for your camera option, you just go ahead and you select the camera you're using. I'm using my ZV-E10, just like this. And once you open it up, you'll select any options here that are in red. You'll make sure that there is an option selected that works for it, and just select those ones. Once you're ready, make sure your avatar is selected and click start. And now you can see the avatar is loaded and it is matching where I'm looking and what I'm doing. I can flip my head around like this and give myself whiplash. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is look at your screen or wherever is the dead center in front of you, right? Because your avatar might not be aligned with you just yet, according to where your camera is looking. So look directly in front of you as if you're staring at the middle of your screen and click the reset position button. This is going to align your avatar to looking dead center as well, so that when you turn left, it's in sync with you and it reacts exactly the way you need it to, just like that. Now you can go ahead and change some of these options here, the movement smoothing, movement range. If you have high movement range, it's going to really, you can see the avatar really moves around the entire screen. If you don't want that, if you want it to be a bit more stable when you move around, you can go ahead and lower these options to change how you want it to react. Play around with it, put your avatar here, move around a lot and see how it works. Now, there might be some issues in here that you can fix. Like for me, for example, because I have a beard, I guess it tracks my beard sometimes, or my mustache as my mouth is open. So for me, I had a problem where I was just mouth closed and my character looked like this, which kind of felt stupid. My mouth it was open. My mouth wasn't open, but on the avatar it was open, which was really annoying. So to fix this, what I did is I went to settings over here at the top right, but we're looking for general settings. In general settings here, there are a ton of options. So in general settings over here, which you can move this screen around, you'll see there's a ton of different options here that you can select. Maybe there's stuff that you want to use. Maybe there's stuff that you don't want to use. For example, fake gaze, you can click that. And you can click here and make it look at camera, so that when I awkwardly look around, I'm always watching you. It's always staring at the camera, which is kind of creepy, but have that turned off so that it looks wherever you look. So if I look to the right, if I look to the left, it generally matches where my eyes are looking. Now, if you are having that issue that I said with the mouth, I recommend going down here, scrolling down. You'll see on the left-hand side, you're going to look for mouth sensitivity. Now, I recommend just holding a normal thing. So keep your mouth closed. And if your mouth stays closed, perfect. If your mouth is open, for example, if I leave mouth sensitivity on really high, sometimes the mouth kind of just does its own thing. So you're going to try just test the boundaries of the sensitivity of when you want it to engage. And this might be different for different models. So play around with these settings to find exactly what works for you. Of course, this is going to take a ton of practice and experimentation to make sure that everything works the way you want it to work. But it is a good start to get into immediately if you want to start VTubing, today. Okay, so we're technically ready. I'm happy to continue right now. So in order to get this into OBS, all you have to do is press this button over here. You'll see it looks like a like an X with a dot on each side, right? You press this, it's going to make everything transparent, which is exactly what we need. This means it is ready to be added as a source into OBS. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. So this is my OBS screen right now. Because I'm recording my screen, it's going to show a bunch of nonsense in the middle. So don't look at the middle right now. I'm just covering that up so that you don't see that. You're looking at the actual OBS panel in the background, right? So we have a scene over here and it only has a one source, which is my screen, which is what you're seeing right now. Now in here, in the sources, you're going to go ahead and right click and you're going to add a game source. So a game capture, just like this. So add a game capture. You're going to call it whatever you want, like VTube or VTuber or model. Call it something that you know what it is. Click OK. And then in this screen over here, you're going to go ahead and change the mode to specific window. And that window you're going to select in here is going to be VSeeFace, right? So select that one. You'll see it will now load the thing in the background. And you're also going to, very importantly, click Allow Transparency, just like this. Right? And then you're going to go ahead and, disable capture cursor because it's not relevant, it's not going to show. Click OK. And now you can see we are in the middle of OBS, and this is essentially how you're going to load it into your thing. And you can go ahead and you can move it around. So if you want to be smaller in the corner, like this, that's how you're going to do that, or have it in the middle of the screen as I had, just like that before previously. You can adjust it the way you want it to be. And now you're essentially ready to, make videos, live stream, do whatever you want. You can become a VTuber right now by following all of that. It shouldn't take you that long. It depends how much effort you put into your avatar, how great you want it to look. But essentially you could start, really quickly, and you don't have to buy anything. And you don't have to worry about like copyrights and issues of, using somebody else's model that you don't know what the licensing behind that is. And that's my guide on how to set up and become a VTuber as soon as you want. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I do reply to every single one, and I'll see you guys in a future video.